The first light of dawn paints the Manhattan skyline. Millions of people are starting their day just like any other. Ferries crossing the harbor, streets buzzing with life. The city is perfectly at peace. But they have absolutely no idea. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, an ancient monster has just awakened. Inside monitoring centers, alarms suddenly shriek. The color drains from scientists' faces because what they are looking at defies belief. Suddenly, the ocean begins to behave erratically. The water in New York Harbor is receding rapidly, pulling away from the land. On the beaches, tourists stare in absolute confusion as the shoreline retreats hundreds of meters into the distance. And then, every single phone in the city screams in unison. Emergency alerts. Television networks abruptly cut their broadcasts. News anchors speak with trembling voices. Sirens wail through the concrete canyons. Police cruisers rush through the crowds. But evacuation? There is no time. Within minutes, highways and bridges lock down into an endless gridlock of pure panic. People are trapped, and time is running out. On the horizon, a dark line appears. It isn't just a wave, it is a wall, a colossal, roaring wall of black water that swallows the sky. A mega-tsunami. Massive cargo ships are tossed like toys, dwarfed by the sheer height of the anomaly. On board a nearby ferry, passengers can only stare in paralyzed terror at their approaching doom. The Statue of Liberty, for centuries a symbol of hope, now stands utterly alone and helpless against the incoming wrath. Dark, apocalyptic clouds swallow the sun. The ocean is ready. With unimaginable, apocalyptic force, the ocean crashes into New York Harbor. The Statue of Liberty disappears beneath a mountain of white foam. Massive vessels are launched like projectiles directly into skyscrapers. Lower Manhattan is obliterated in a matter of seconds. Subway entrances transform into violent waterfalls, funneling millions of gallons into the earth. Vehicles float helplessly down flooded avenues. The sheer hydraulic pressure shatters glass skyscrapers, raining deadly debris onto the torrent below. Times Square is now a raging, unstoppable river. People flee toward higher ground, but the water is faster than fear. Manhattan is partially submerged. A metropolis turned into a waterlogged graveyard. Gridlocked bridges are swamped by the rising tide. Brave rescue pilots navigate through the fierce storms while firefighters risk everything to pull families from rooftops. Hospitals plunge into darkness. The power grid fails, leaving only the eerie, flickering glow of emergency lights to illuminate the devastation. This is no longer just a local tragedy. The entire world stops spinning. Global leaders watch the feeds in stunned silence. Markets crash, supply chains shatter. Millions of people stare at their screens, witnessing the unthinkable unfold live. Slowly, the floodwaters begin to settle. The roar of the ocean fades, leaving behind a heavy, heartbreaking silence. Whole neighborhoods remain buried underwater. Search and rescue teams sift through the debris, looking for signs of life. Separated families weep as they reunite. But then, sunlight breaks through the heavy clouds, casting a golden light over a wounded Manhattan. Engineers assess the damage. The cleanup begins. Scientists will say an event like this happens only once in a millennium, but they don't know the spirit of this city. New York never stays down. In the fading light of the sunset, amid the ruins, the rebuilding begins. Hope returns. A new dawn. New York will rise again.